I kind of put my daughter under that program. I said, honey, I don't have 5 children. You're it. That means you have to make it. I mean, the pressure is on.
Yeah.
What's up, gang, and welcome to another episode of World Class Mindset. And I have with me here today, as you can already see, a very special guest, Kerry O'Brien. Kerry wears many, many hats. She's a mother, an entrepreneur, philanthropist, and consistently attains the prestigious platinum certification of the New Jersey Realtors Circle of Excellence Sales Award. Kerry and her partner Tammy transformed their small mom and mom operation into a prominent player in residential, multi-unit, and commercial real estate, boasting 5 offices across Monmouth County and over 200 agents in less than a decade. Born and raised in Monmouth Beach, Kerry returned to her beloved town to nurture her family and her business. She serves on the board of trustees for Monmouth Medical, holds a board membership with the Visiting Nurse Association, and so Kerry dedicates herself also to philanthropic endeavors for organizations such as Sure to Help, SPCA, and other local charities. All of this, and the most important thing, Kerry, that I know about you from your friends and people who know you, is that you are one amazing human being. It's a privilege for me today to be able to have you here in World Class Mindset. Really is. Good to have you here
Thank
today.
you, Eric. Thank you so much. And, anytime Eric and I are together, we just always connect, and we always, we just kind of hone in on each other, and we always just have very similar mindsets on different things. And I just love learning from you as well. And I love all the passion and the positive thinking that you put out to everybody every day. You make such a difference. So I'm so grateful
much.
to be here.
Thank you. That's very encouraging.
Good company.
Well. You know how important it is that we encourage each other. Where did it all start? As a kid growing up, where did you grow up? What was it like growing up for you?
So I grew up in Monmouth Beach, New Jersey. It's a little square mile town. It's surrounded, mostly by water, the river and the ocean. And just growing up, I was the youngest of 6 kids. We grew up with very humble beginnings, even though we had an amazing town. Growing up now, looking back now, I didn't realize how good I had it. It was so much fun just going outside and, literally we were kicked out of the house in the morning. We weren't allowed back in until the dinner bell. I didn't realize how instrumental those friendships, those homegrown friendships from grammar school to high school. And also I went to Seton Hall University, which is kind of close and local, so a lot of friends from college live locally as well. So it's, they're rooting for you. They've got your back. And when you call them, they pick up. And when they call me, there's landscapers, there's tree guys, there's, asbestos, there's all the different friends that call, and we all work together and we all help and boost each other. It's a magical thing.
Wow,
it really is.
Wow. Kerry, when I think about you coming back home, getting in touch with all of these, you come from a very humble beginning. Did you have big dreams when you were a little girl growing up? Did these dreams of yours kick in? Because you are a big achiever now. You've got some really big things going on.
I think I always felt within myself that there was always more, and I wanted to be more and do more. I struggled academically in school. It was undiagnosed, but it was like, I would compare it to ADHD or whatever. I didn't do paper to pen very well, but I knew people. I could talk to people, I could articulate things, and I can communicate, and I could read people, so I understood, and I had a better connection with people, and that's kind of what got me through. And so I learned in a very different way. And when I got to I didn't have really the grades to go to Seton Hall, and my mother said, you're going to college. My brother helped me get into Seton Hall. And I'll tell you, it was the greatest gift my mother ever pushed me, my brother ever gave me. It was amazing because I learned differently. College, you learn differently. You're on your own schedule and you're able to do something. So I was getting A's and B's in college. Candidly, I still wasn't really showing up to the classes, but I did well. And I had such a great time. And the friendships that I have there, they're all coming to my house on Friday, and it's so much fun. So much fun. My mother was an entrepreneur. She worked several jobs to take. My father died at 51, very young, and so my mother had 6 kids in colleges and everything. So she was working several different jobs. She bought the dry cleaner in Monmouth Beach. She wrote the first book on the town of Monmouth Beach. She was one of the original historians. So she was such an inspiration, and she always wanted to be more. And she always said, I would love to do this, I would love to do that. And also on my father's side, you know, he had this amazing personality, an amazing way. I think he and I were very similar to connect with people versus academically. Everybody said your father could have been anything or anyone or anything. And that always kind of bothered me because, you know, if alcohol didn't get in the way or certain things, life things, it was a different time. You know, I never wanted anybody to say, Kerry O'Brien could have been anything. And that's where I want to get out there and be everything that God intended me to be.
I can tell your mom, like my mom, entrepreneur. Your father brought you these gifts. My father brought me the gift of enjoying yourself and having a good time and enjoying music. Mom pushed you. Mom said you could be anything you want to be.
Yes, 100%.
Dad brought you this people gift. So I love it that you've got a good story.
Yes. My father's coming on, he died in 1984, and it's coming on almost 40 years that he's been passed. I was 16 years old, and I'll tell you, I still have people come up to me and tell me Jerry O'Brien stories and how funny and charismatic and great. He had such a great way of connecting with people. And my mother did as well. And so, you know, what they instilled in us was that work ethic. And being the youngest of the 6 kids, my siblings were amazing. My oldest brother builds buildings. He's building the building above the train station in Boston right now. My sister Honora just retired as a Superior Court judge. She's made such a difference and an impact on so many people. And then my sister Shannon, who's part of the community and gave back and started, you know, Pop Warner and different things. And she also helped me with my children and my business as well. She's amazing. And my brother Sean is a Wall Street guy, got to retire young. And my brother Brian O'Brien is on Broadway. He's still on Broadway today after 30 years, following those dreams. And that was our parents saying, you can be and do anything. All those inner voices and outside voices that tell you can't, you know, it's always good when your parents are saying, you can do it. Just go for it. Being the youngest of those siblings.
You're the youngest?
Being the youngest of those siblings, you know.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure. So like Eminem says, you know, success was my only motherfucking option. That was it. Failure was not. I could not.
Not an option,
It
right?
was not an option. My goal every day is to live in the light of my parents and my siblings and my children and my wife. I'm so proud of that town and all of the great success stories that have come out of that little square mile town. Remarkable.
Very, very
It's
incredible.
remarkable. So I sell that town with a lot of love.
Wow. So here you've got this incredible siblings, every one of you, a mom and a dad who set the stage. What about later on in life?
People always ask me about who's my competition. And I always said my competition is me, getting my ass out of bed and being the best person that I can be every day, you know. And as far as mentors, I like to hone in and find these great stories about that person and how they got there. We all have a story and we all love to share it a little bit. I had a great conversation with Drew the other night and his story, and it's so fun to see how many people just pushed all the negative and everything aside and said, you know, and lived their purpose. And I think it's so important to live your purpose. There's this great thing, this gal got to heaven and God handed her this piece of paper and said, here's all the things you could have been. And I want to get that piece of paper and say, you did a damn good job. There's only a few things left on that list.
It seems like anybody and everybody who's really doing special things, you immediately gravitate towards them and you want to know their story, how they did it, and that lifts and encourages you.
100%. It's the company you keep.
It's the company you keep. What about people who maybe didn't have that? You had no choice. You know, I kind of put my daughter under that program. I said, honey, I don't have 5 children. You're it. That means you have to make it. I mean, the pressure is on. You know, and I'm there always motivating, pushing, driving. You've had that family unit and then friends coming back. What about for those that are watching that maybe are inspired by you, but they don't have that upbringing? Where do you think they can go?
I think from kings to clansmen, everybody has a chance, and even though their bankroll may not as big, they're successful in so many other different things. So I think we can learn so much from them, is that they find success and happiness in different things than we do, and there's great things to learn from those folks as well. We all want to be George Bailey in a way, and be successful in life, in community, in people, in professional, so those are big shoes to fill, George Bailey, but we do our best to do it, but it is a wonderful life.
You work on your mind every day, on your thoughts,
every day. Every day. There was this great book called The Miracle Morning, and it talks about savers. And so the savers are silence for meditation, A for affirmation, V for visualization, E for exercise, R for reading, and S for scribing, writing every day. Another thing that I actually found recently, I'm a TikTok junkie. I need to go to TikTok Anonymous, actually. Yeah, no, but you learn so many great things. And it was talking about grounding, just having your feet on the grass and grounding. So that's what I've been doing. And so I meditate every day, I read every day, I write every day. Even if it's a minute, you're always in a constant battle with yourself. I think that's really what life is, Eric, is to overcome oneself. Right. Because it's our battle.
Forget about the others. We have to overcome us.
Exactly.
Talk a little bit more about that.
And getting out of our own way. It's a constant thing. And this vortex of negative energy wants to grab you and pull you down. Yep. And it's worked. It's worked a few times.
You take that TikTok thing. If you're not careful, right, you're not looking at the stuff that's mindless stuff, right? You're looking at things that are lifting you. So I don't know if it's bad.
No, I mean, after watching it, I don't believe they landed on the moon. So those are certain things, but and that's a negative thing too, that we have to be inspiring ourselves with reading and doing some more things.
When I think about what you just said about we have to overcome ourselves, the challenges, I think about how do you define success? For some people, it's about chasing down the next big thing. How do you define success?
My motivation, when I was younger, was a little bit different, but now is my children. After 2008, we hit rock bottom. We were down to pennies, and it was really, really tough. Really? And we had money and stored and everything in different things that we didn't want to cash out. 2008, after the crash, everything kind of, Tam and I, Tam was a Wall Street gal. She left to move back to Jersey. We lived in Greenwich, Connecticut. What happened was, we had our money invested in different things, and then the 2008 crash happened. So we weren't bringing in the income that we were and trying to, settle our roots here now back in Jersey. Those hard times, I think, really build the true character of who you were. And I was in such a negative mindset, like panicking. So, we made a lot of money in Greenwich. And when I had that money in the bank, all I thought about was losing it. And what do? You lose it because that's where your mindset is, right? By going down to almost zero, it really was the best thing. And I was sitting there having the heart, like just beating myself up, just saying, oh my God, we're not going to make it. Right? What are we going to do? Holy cow, now we have these 2 kids. We're living back in Jersey. Oh my God. And I didn't have my real estate license at the time either. I was watching my daughter, Tiernan, who was just learning how to walk, and she'd fall and get back up, fall and get back up, and fall and get back up. And I was like, get back up, Kerry. I went and got my real estate license. And then that's when we got into the business at the lowest of the low of the business.
You both got into the business together.
Tammy got in a little bit after me.
Okay.
A little bit after me.
So you led her there, kind of. You said, hey, this is looking good. Let's get it cooking together.
I needed her help. I definitely needed her help. So we were able to help a lot of families out of that. 2012 hits. Now I'm working for another company because I have to have my license for 3 years to become a broker. We were able to help so many families too. I mean, they were devastated. I mean, no homes, their homes were, and it was cold, and they had to put their children into a house, and I knew who was summer residents and winter residents. So all these people, I mean, the amount of arms that opened up for these families, it was remarkable. A lot of families didn't charge rent. I never charged one dime in commission for any of these rents because I wanted to make sure that was my way of giving back.
Your give back.
There were a lot of other great agents that did that too. I mean, amazing. The love and support that came out
during hard times, right? Isn't it amazing how we come together, the best in us?
A lot of people didn't really know me because I came from Greenwich, Connecticut, and they didn't I had my old Monmouth Beach friends, but some of the new people that had moved, and that really kind of put us on the map. And then when I realized that you could really help people in situations by selling real estate, there's a lot of financial strain, divorces, medical things. There's a lot of things that you can go through and help people and help families, get out of good things and get into good things, first-time home buyers and all these exciting things as well. And that's what I love about real estate, is that I was able to help somebody. It wasn't about getting one over on somebody. Yeah. It was about helping them and genuinely caring about them and making sure that everything was a good fit. The money will come when you do the right thing, and we always do the right thing.
Amen. Well, you're Kerry O'Brien. I'm really honored because you're special.
I think you always need to give back, and that's what we love about giving back. And it's amazing when you give back, it comes back tenfold. When you give, you receive. You have to be able to give to receive. The V&A, Monmouth Medical, Sure to Help, SPCA, and all these different things that they kind of give to different charities that are local. And then we sponsor every event in Monmouth Beach and Rumson and, and all these things. So there's no better branding than 300 kids wearing your sweatshirt with your logo on the back,
And we do see
for the Striped Bass tournament.
We see you everywhere with stuff like that.
So you got to give to receive. So I think success is having confidence in yourself to give. And even if you don't have a lot, I'm telling you, when we started giving, that's when everything started to really catapult too.
Since we talked so easily about success and giving, how would you define failure?
Failure is always just one step closer to success. I think you need to fail forward. I've learned so much from my failure. You have these crazy ideas and you just kind of go with them. And my wife Tammy is like, okay, here she goes. But she goes with me.
You wake up in a wild world,
Oh,
right?
Totally. I'm like, we're going to do this and we're going to do that.
Now, wait, in the partner part, because a lot of couples out there, if you got both of them, are you the driver and she's the, okay, all right, I'm coming along? I mean, is that how that's working?
She doesn't always want to come along, but yes.
But eventually.
She does. No, she's great. And she kind of grounds me a little as well. And we're a great partner, and there's nothing like being in business with your wife, and it does work. I'm still a working broker, so I'm out selling houses and stuff, and she kind of carries the backbone of the company. We were best friends since we were 15 years old. We met freshman year in high school. Wow. So we've been together since I think 1994.
And how many children do you guys have?
We have two daughters. One's 16, a junior in high school, and one almost 15, a freshman in high school. And they have great work ethic. They both work very young ages, and I couldn't be more proud of them. They're playing soccer together, and it's nice that they're in high school together, and I see them kind of evolving more, their friendship. And I just think it's magical. And cool. I am so blessed. They're so different. They come home. I can't wait to hear the stories. Like, I love stories from a party and your ragers and,
We'll never forget that one. I love that.
I'm always like, tell me what happened, But I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I can tell. I want to help people who are watching this right now who are maybe holding back. More people are anxiety-ridden than ever before. Fear of the future, fear that they're not going to be able to amount much. What do you think is holding people back from living kind of the life that you're living, and what can they do to get their lives moving in the right direction?
I think we, and I'm including myself in this, is that we need to be kinder to ourselves. And we would never talk to a friend or a family member or anything the way we talk to ourselves. I also think we need to stop blaming and justifying for everything that's happening in your life. You have to go out and create your own life. You have to make your own life. You have to manifest your own life. I wrote in my journal every single day, build my dream home, build my dream home, build my dream home. I look out the window, I'm like, oh my God, it worked. Oh my God, it really, really worked. Even think about when you're online for a cup of coffee and you can hear people around you like, this asshole over here and this person and all the negative stuff that people are spewing out. Just be very conscious of it and know that you're probably contributing to some of that. And then when you start saying, hey, it's a great day, I'm going to have, good things and I kind of forecast my day every morning. And I say, it's going to be a great day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And this is going to happen. And this is going to happen. So you want to forecast your life and get into the driver's seat of your own life, your own destiny, and stop talking negatively to yourself, which is very, very hard, and stop blaming and justifying and, saying, if only if it was this and if only it was that. Take all that out of the equation and just be the best person and just go for it. It's never too late to do it. It's never too late. Wow. If anything, as you get older, you should be like, screw it. Like, what am I going to do? But you have great friends in your sphere of influence, and they might be going through something. Everybody kind of goes through something at some point or another. Sure. So, you want to kind of be there for them, but you also want to help them get out of their own way too. When you're positive and everything, people gravitate to that because they're starving for it. What you give is what you receive. And I say that to my children. I say that to everyone. So when you give good energy, it comes back tenfold.
If you really don't feel like that in the moment,
Yes.
when you send that message to your mind, it goes into your subconscious, all of a sudden things get better, right?
Amazing what a smile can do. Amazing what a smile. My daughter Tiernan and I, we were driving down the road, and I go, I'm just going to smile in my car and see who else smiles in the car. Like, you're driving 25 miles an hour. And she's like, no, Mom, don't. So I start smiling. So now she's smiling that I'm smiling. And it's amazing. People will smile. They smile.
So
and just a little kindness. And just, because you have no idea what happened to that person on the way, to work, or whatever happened, or what kind of phone call they got. Just be kind and listen to them, and it's amazing. And use their name. They love to hear their own name,
Yes.
and just so they know that you recognize them and remembered them. So, we're all needing people. We all kind of need each other. We need that comfort.
We do. What is the biggest challenge that you have faced in work or in life? And how did you overcome that challenge?
I think we touched on that a little bit, is getting out of my own way. It changed my mindset on money, because we're so codependent on it, and it's just such a necessity in our life, which it genuinely is.
Yeah.
But the way you think about money is a different. I switched my mindset to say that there is abundance everywhere. There is job opportunities everywhere. There's ways of making money everywhere. Even now, so more than anything, online and AI and this next generation. I know a lot of them are saying they'll be taking jobs away, but there's other jobs out there to look and ways to people make money. And there's so I remember after 2008, we had this Dodge Durango, and the sides were falling off and everything. We were driving down, Tam and I were driving down Rumson Road, and I'd say there's abundance everywhere. There's abundance everywhere. And Tammy kind of laughed it and shrugged it off. And then once we started making money, she's like, holy cow, Kerry, there's abundance everywhere. You created this, you manifested this.
Wow.
And so that was the biggest challenge, was getting out of my own way and speaking better to myself.
When I hear you, you're very consistent with how you've become Kerry O'Brien, and how you've overcome everything that has come your way. Mindset is a muscle. I think you're constantly working your mindset. It's quite obvious
Absolutely.
that you do it. Real estate right now, right? With mortgages going up. I have a few people that I know of who are in real estate, and all they talk about is doom and gloom. Oh God, the market's going, that's it. But meanwhile, that's not your mindset.
No.
There's abundance all around you, no matter what. What would you say to those people out there who right now, whether it's economically, they're seeing things that are moving in a negative direction? I saw a TikTok where a guy was showing all of his cars being repossessed.
Oh gosh.
It was one of those type of TikToks, and he said, don't count your money, don't think that money is forever, you're not going to have it forever.
That was his mindset.
And that was his mindset, so the cars are gone.
He created that. He created
Right?
those repos 100% in his mind.
Right?
Because that was his mindset. He created all of that.
So simple.
So yeah, and
Simple,
even
not
when you
easy,
look
but
at negative TikToks like that, realize that that's his story that he's telling to himself. Tell yourself the best story, and live that story. Yes, there are hardships out there. There are struggles, and people are finding that, their buying power isn't nearly what it was, and they might have to rent, and rents are through the roof too. It does have to correct itself in some form or fashion. People are out there working and hustling. We want to make sure we're putting good people into successful. We never want to put them into to fail. So that's where I'm always like, really look and see your buying power, know the difference. And people say, oh, well, you could wait until the rates go down and whatever. There's no guarantee of that. They could continue to go higher. We have no idea. But as far as getting into a house, if you're able to buy it or whatever, if you have to do a little bit more work to it, do it, and then kind of do it over time. So there's opportunity everywhere.
You led me to that last question I got here. What opportunities do you see on the horizon right now? What do you see?
Opportunities everywhere. And again, And it's so hard because I know how hard and long you've worked on this mindset. I've worked very, very long and hard on this mindset. I continue to work on it every day. It's a full-time job, this mindset thing, because you really want to be ahead of it.
Everybody hearing this right now will grab onto that.
Really, it's a full-time
They'll look at you,
job.
Kerry, and they'll think, oh, well, that's easy for her to say.
Yes.
Oh, good for you, but you don't know my situation.
Yes.
And you have the same challenges as everybody watching.
Else.
Everybody else.
Everybody else.
But you've chosen to grab a hold of your mindset daily, almost in the morning, speaking to yourself, saying the right things, believing. If I don't find myself believing and thinking that today is going to be a great day and tomorrow is going to be even better, then I'm going to bring more doom and gloom into my life, and that which I fear has come upon me.
Yes.
You've decided, and you're telling all of us, take charge of your life.
Everything that I sign out on a text or Facebook, anything, I mostly write great things to come. Great things to come. And you just got to always put it out there, because there are amazing things to come. So
that is
thank
the
you.
best
Thank
way
you.
to end this podcast. Great things to come.
Great things to come.
Thank you, Kerry
Thank
O'Brien.
you. I love you, Eric.
Love
I love
you.
you.
I love
Thank you.
more.
Thank you.
You
And
are
that's
my
another
forever
thing.
realtor. Go ahead.
Tell people that you love them. Tell them. Even if it's a friend or whatever, just tell them, like, I see you, I say I love you on the phone. We don't see each other all the time. Tell people that you love them. They need to hear it sometimes. So, and they need to love themselves, most importantly.
Amen.
Thank you. We still got some work to do.
Yes, we do. Good job.
Love
Good
you, honey.
job.
Thank
Love
you.
you. Love you.